Hi guys, this is Breaker, and it looks like I'm casting a Diamond level TVZ on Cloud Kingdom LE. I'm going to go ahead and introduce both players. Spawning is our Terran in the lower left hand corner. His name is Killer Koala. And in the upper right hand corner, spawning is our Zerg in the blue trunks, and quite the mannered guy giving out the good luck, good luck. His name is Phoenix. And if you guys would so kindly, please comment on this video and subscribe to it. I went ahead and gave it the premium, what's the word I'm looking for, preview, and this is interesting. We have two SCVs coming off the line. One of them, it looks like, is going to serve as a scout. And the map we are on is, of course, Cloud Kingdom LE, and this is Wings of Liberty. As noted in the casted thread that I downloaded it from, one thing I can highlight about this is that the natural is quite wide open, and this kind of works a bit to the detriment of any Zerg player, but I've seen some players put an evolution chamber here, an evolution chamber here, a spine crawler here, and then a queen here to form a full wall off. It just seems like we have Killer Koala coming in for the straight up annoying play. And I'm pretty sure that Phoenix is perfectly aware of that. He's pulling two drones immediately off the line to deal with this, and he's just going to straight up throw down his spawning pole, kind of make for a not so macro opener, if you will. What I know this can lead into is very, very annoying Hellion play. And if you guys just pay attention to the engineering bay here, it's got more than 500 HP, so it's going to take 4 Zerglings a long time to really deal with that structure before it finally gets cancelled. The only real loss for Terran is if he cannot actually cancel it in time. And at present, I think what we're waiting to see is, oh, this is going to be a command center first opener. I just noticed that because I saw almost 400 minerals floating. And no barracks, no factory, no gas. So of course we have both players playing kind of greedy, but in the shoes of Phoenix, it would probably be an okay time to go ahead and get Metabolic Boost out. It's just I don't know, it's kind of a different idea once you think about it, a different way of approaching a game. The only big problem is, if you go for Metabolic Boost and you don't have the drones backing it, you know, you're really stuck pretty far behind. I think with the kind of opener that we see, wow, this is double gas follow-up before even the first barracks goes down. This is going to be a very interesting game. I couldn't exactly remember the headline of the casted thread. Of course, we have 4 Lings going to town on this engineering bay, and they're probably going to be used for map control initially thereafter. There we go, the engineering bay gets cancelled, and we have a drone coming down to build the natural hatchery. Queen number 2 on the way. It's going to be there long before the second hatchery finishes up. But, let's just kind of see where things are going to go from here. Interesting choice of engineering bay here. I've never seen this kind of play done before. I've never really even seen double gas for Terran before a single barracks has gone down, so it's going to be quite interesting to just see, where things are going to go from here. And that seems to be why we have a planetary fortress going down at the natural, so I don't know, the last time I encountered something like this on the ladder was when a player went basically mass Phoenix against me, and I don't want to go too far into accusations, but I dare say he was map hacking. I had excellent Overlord spread basically around all corners of the map, and these Lings pull back just as the planetary fortress fires a shot that kills 3 of them and seriously wounds 1 more. Behind this, it seems that Phoenix's choice is to take a third. Not a bad idea at all, because this is actually a super defensive play. And it looks like we have the barracks going down in a kind of forward-ish defensive position. And the factory is going to be right here in the main. And in order for Phoenix to really survive this, he's going to have to get some excellent scouting and info out of his Overlord that's over here. He goes in, he sees that there's double gas, and he immediately pulls out. So he knows something is up here, yes. There's no getting around that. Bunker going down right next to the barracks, so this is actually kind of a unique SimCity, if you will, from Killer Koala. And we have a forward spine crawler getting put in place, and right next to the factory is a starport that we see in production. Looks like the first unit of choice to be cranked out will be a Banshee. Double gas going down at the natural for our Zerg. One thing you must remember is that he doesn't have metabolic boost out just yet, but the queen that the opening that he's gone with basically will allow him to get better macro up. He's gonna have to really get an evolution chamber out soon. And he already has one in the main, but he's going roaches for now, it seems. Interesting choice, given that I don't believe he has sacrificed an Overlord to actually get some tech scouting out. No, he has not. At this stage, I would say it's actually worthwhile to rush to layer tech and just basically get the Speedy Overlord into the main and see what his opponent's up to. Meanwhile, the Marine comes down here and does see that the Overlord's going in. The Overlord is going to see this command center, and more than likely will see the starport. Yes, he sees the reactor, and finally he sees the starport. Viking coming out just in time to shut down that Overlord, so he knows it's a 1-1-1 play. But this is a very strange 1-1-1 play at that. We have the Mobius, actually we have the Corvid reactor going down, which is actually the Raven Energy buff. Excuse me, the Raven Energy, Raven Energy Max, if you will, or something like that. The thing is, like, when a Raven spawns now, it will have, I believe, 25 more energy. Let's see here. Let's check and see what that is. No? Okay, yes, it increases the starting energy of Ravens by 25. I do apologize because I don't play Terran. But this will basically scream volumes. You know, Phoenix is probably thinking to himself, okay, he does that, but there's no Banshee out first. He hasn't even found a Banshee. There's a Spore Crawler at each expo, respectable. And he's going for double gas in the main, and it'll be just a matter of time before he gets the double gas on his third. And behind this, we actually have four starports in production behind this. Well, a 2-base, I don't know what to make of this, but you better know that when you see a planetary fortress there, that means your opponent is not planning on expoing for a long time, guys. Viking over here at the Xel'Naga Watchtower, and we do have Killer Koala double-clicking on it, taking control of it. Queen coming in and trying to deal with that Viking. The Viking's going to try and go to the natural. It looks like this Queen's going to kind of cut it off for the time being. So all the scouting info in the world is now basically kind of useless to Koala. But here we go. Third is, looks like immediately being morphed into a planetary fortress. And this is basically kind of a turtling time for Terran now. These 4 starports are finished, but we only have 2 of them capable of cranking out anything besides Vikings and Medivacs. So I'm thinking that perhaps, just perhaps, we're going to see, you know, if we don't see reactors, or excuse me, not reactors, but rather tech labs on these soon, and there they are, I was going to say that perhaps we were going to see mass Viking production. And this is just, I think, you know, if we look at the supply discrepancy right now, this is the window of opportunity for Zerg to attack, but of course, it's actually quite limited in the way of, what's the word I'm looking for, air-to-ground units, Mutalisks, Broodlords. It's possible to get that kind of tech up and ready in the near future, but it's just, I don't know, like, it's gonna stretch, it would stretch Terran extremely thin. But it looks like these roaches are going to come over here at the 3rd, and they're going to find out that it's been morphed into a planetary fortress. And there they are, taking damage. Missile turrets are the first thing that they destroy. The gas over here will be the second thing. The gas income is actually relatively important for the time being. It's actually, you know, and we see that the SCVs have been pulled off the line because Killer Koala is actually trying to save them. And if we check army supply right now, it is dreadfully low for Killer Koala at the present. Only 14, that means the 17. The rest of his units are actually just all drone, or excuse me, workers, SCVs. Alright. And the Roach is coming in, just picking off units one by one. Phoenix ready to throw them away, and maybe, oh no, he's actually, I think he's going, he's trying to go all in with a Roach overpowered. Meanwhile, we have 3 Ravens out here ready to go, ready to throw down their Hunter-Seeker missiles, or their, what do you call those? The not point defense drones, auto turrets, there we go. Banshee's also coming into play right now. I want to say this is just not going to be pretty for Phoenix, it really is not. Okay, so now we have our Zerg macroing up on 4 base. He's got considerably higher income than Koala presently. And Koala is actually researching Terran building armor. Would be a wise decision because he's actually going for a kind of turtle play, if you will. And Mass Raven is something that's extremely difficult to counter as a Zerg player. Meanwhile, we have what appears to be the first Banshee kind of just moving out in this direction, I guess making sure that even though Phoenix is free to move and take as many expos as he pleases, he can't take that one. And this Viking over here just kind of sitting there, making sure that Phoenix doesn't try to put any units over there and block in. The Overseer is going to try and go in here to the main and just see what kind of scouting info he can get out of his opponent. Changeling, of course, over here as well. Missile turret is kind of shutting down this Overseer for the time being. And now we have more and more command centers in production. Of course, this one going to be finishing much faster. And I think what we're going to see out of this is a bunch of orbital commands. And this one, of course, will be turned into a planetary fortress. And we just see now that both sides are trying to macro up, put on their macro pants, macro gloves, whatever have you. Spire is almost finished, and we have an Ultralisk Cavern coming down for Phoenix. He knows that he's going to be in a lot of trouble really soon. So he's got to get his income up as high as possible, get as many resources as possible banked, and then try and kill as many bases as possible with what he has. We're going to have Ultralisks out on the map. They will have, eventually, I'm sure. That's why there's the Ultralisk Cavern going down. They will have a buff versus these planetary fortresses, doing 40-something damage. This Roach just coming in here to get a look and see if there is or is not an Expo, and there is. And now we have all the Ravens going up here, getting ready to throw down a bunch of auto turrets, and they're going to do some damage to the economy of Phoenix at the 4th base here. That's just a gibbon, you know. He's thinking to himself, oh my god, those Terrans, those pesky Terrans, and their auto turrets. These guys, wow, they have a range buff as well. It looks like you have missile turret range being upgraded. These Banshees trying to target down the spine crawlers. They're going to do it successfully, but luckily we have these auto turrets not able to target down the hatch. But the bigger concern, the bigger threat, my god, look at this. Look at this. Look at the army difference right now. We have so many roaches. I mean, just so many units all together, making an army for Phoenix. It's actually rather absurd. He is now at double the army supply of his opponent, and hello, more and more Ravens continue to get cranked out. We just have, you know, basically mass Raven coming in production right here, and it looks like these two planetary fortresses, or excuse me, these two command centers are going to be morphed into planetary fortresses at this position. This one's going to be rather defensive. The other one is going to be just, you know, in position, regular position to take minerals. And I'm positive that we're going to see all of these things turned into planetary fortresses, not orbital commands. It looks like the Corruptors are coming in here trying to do some damage to this one, and they're not gonna get it to the point where it's gonna burn down, but you know. Of course, we have two Banshees in the composition right now, and just more and more Ravens continuing to get cranked out. Roaches are going to come down here and try to do some damage. We have 4 Broodlords in the makes right now, and I think the main concern that we should see from our Zerg is to try and attack one of these bases, keep his opponent from macroing out further, and he's just going to throw away these Roaches, I'm pretty sure. Like, now would not be a bad idea to actually just throw them at this base, see if he can do some damage, be it economic or infrastructural. We of course have Lings just patrolling around here. Chitinous plating now just about finished. Question is, when are we going to see the Ultralisks? They would not be the best choice unit for the job because Banshees, of course, don't get attacked by Ultralisks. And oh my god, those Raven Hunter Seeker missiles. He's got to split his Corruptors so well, otherwise they're going to connect the way he doesn't want to. Broodlords back here, Corruptors, you know, like, let's get a look and see just how many of them are damaged right now. That's a good deal of yellow and orange health Corruptors that we have, and there's still a ton of energy on these Infestors, or excuse me, these Ravens. And we see that oh my god, our Zerg is trying his best to basically, you know, spread his units, but it's just not enough. He's gonna have to pull Queens, and I don't know what else to say right here, man. Maybe what would be optimal is if he could get a Nidus Worm in there. That's probably what he's thinking. He's just cranking out a bunch of Corruptors right now, trying to get their armor upgrades up. He's already got +1 attack. And of course, these point defense drones are really preventing a lot of damage from being done by these Corruptors. I don't know, all these Broodlords back here are trying to do the damage that they can, but I don't see it happening in the near future. You know, all these Vikings here, it looks like these Broodlords could be shut down very soon. Yes, they are exposed and bare now. And we have Zerg on borrowed time. You know, he's got so much supply that's empty, for lack of a better word. He has so many minerals, he just doesn't have the gas to keep up with it. He should be taking these extractors. He just now catches on to that. And right now he's actually ahead in not supply, but income. Tried initiating an attack here as well with, I think, a lot of roaches. And it's just a matter of time until we see Killer Koala basically try and move out with his Ravens, his Banshees, his Vikings, and do some damage. He's going to have basically, you know, all the time in the world to do that because Zerg doesn't have Scourge anymore. It looks like we're going to have more auto turrets going down at this location. Yes, and this just is not going to be pretty at all. Just look at the damage here, guys, you know? Infestors are going to get caught up in this. They're going to get dealt with very rapidly. Yes, they're just disappearing. All the drones got pulled off of that mineral line. And now we just have more and more damage being done by our Terran. I don't know, I was thinking if we could see a good deal of stacked fungal growths on those Ravens, then it would be good for our Zerg, but right now, he's just doing nothing but cranking out Infestors presently, and he's in a lot of hurt right now. This base, slightly, you know, oversaturated, optimally saturated, whatever have you, but at the same time, we just have, you know, Terran Infestors right here. And by that I mean units that spawn units without resources. Just energy. And they last longer than infested Terrans. Yes, 3 minutes. Meant to be used in defensive posture, being exploited just a little bit. And now, here we go. Looks like our Zerg is bravely trying to move out. He's got so many minerals, he could just throw some of these lings away into the main of his opponent, but it's fully walled off. It would kill some of the infrastructure, but speaking of infrastructure, he's just lost 2 hatcheries. He's trying to rebuild one. It's just not going to pan out, man. I mean, oh my god, and look at all these turrets. Look at everything that is here right now. You know, Spore Crawler's not being targeted down, but these auto turrets are eventually going to get the kill on the 3rd, definitely. And one by one, we have the Ravens slowly regenerating their energy. It looks like we have Phoenix trying to get in a position where he can engage this, but there's just nothing here yet. I mean, there's just no way he can do it just yet. He's waiting right here, but he has no vision of his opponent's units quite yet, and it looks like the Ravens are opting to go into the main with the Vikings and the Banshees. So far behind, you know, behind all this, we just see that our Terran, not our Terran, yes, our Terran is actually just basically banking behind all of this. He's got so many resources floating right now, and he's almost at 200 supply. And this is just absurd, the amount of damage we see Phoenix taking right now. You know, he's stacking fungal growth, he's getting a few kills here and there, but of course the Corruptor's shots are actually being blocked rather effectively. A few Ravens do fall there, it's just enough to alleviate 20-something supply, and now we see, you know, Phoenix is in an increasingly dire position. This base has basically been discovered by Killer Koala, and it looks like he might be morphing this into a planetary fortress up at this position. It will be close enough, I think, to attack the extractor, and maybe not the hatchery. I believe planetary fortresses have a range of 7, and this is just one of those games, guys. I don't know what else to say. Yes, being morphed into a planetary fortress right now. And so far, Zerg is actually stuck on 4 base production versus the 5-6 base of Terran. Festers everywhere. They're right next to the planetary fortress. They're trying to give it a hug. That's not going to do them a lot of good. They need to attack! Oh my god, he needs to wake up and pull these units away. Yes, good job. Okay, so here it is. More and more turrets going down in the main of Koala, or excuse me, by Koala. And this is just a slow but sure way to bleed your opponent to death. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like putting maggots in somebody's bloodstream, in a way. And now it looks like the Infestors have been pulled by accident. They're going to take some damage slowly but surely. Being mismicroed, some of them still have full energy and they are going to die, but not without killing this planetary fortress, I am sure. Maybe we're going to see a mule get dropped, but no, it will fall. And now here we go, the double spire up here, basically, you know, unable to upgrade anything. Flyer attacks will not get researched. Flyer Carapace will not be researched. They need Hive Tech to do that. And now we just see a slow but sure victory coming for Killer Koala. Making a Marine. Interesting. What's this all about? I think maybe, just maybe he's doing this to take it around the map and dance it. Yeah. More and more auto turrets going down, 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 down for Killer Koala. And this is it, the indestructible composition. With that, we see Phoenix leaving the game. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, just click on the subscribe button. This is Breaker. I will see you guys next time.